What's up, people? Welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna go over what I believe should be in every advanced fisherman's tackle bag or box. But as you can see, the lake is still really dirty. It's foggy. It's probably my favorite time to fish is whenever it's foggy, but it's still cold. But the temperature's not cold. The water's just cold. So that's a little weird. But yeah, it's supposed to get up to like 70 degrees here in Georgia. So that's just how our weather is. And then it's going to drop back down to the 50s and 40s. So let's get to the garage and let's go over these baits. Okay, people, we are in the garage and I'm just going to show you some baits that I believe should be in every advanced tackle kit, bag, box, whatever you want to call it. Now in this video, I'm not going to go over like hooks and what to carry, your baits in. Just know that these are baits that I always have with me while I'm out on the water. Like whether I'm bank fishing or, fishing from the kayak or from a boat. Those are just baits that I feel you need to learn how to throw. A lot of these baits I've already been over, with my bank fishing video and with my beginner tackle box video. So I'm not going to go into, in depth about the baits because I feel that, if you're an advanced fisherman, you don't need me to give you the details of a lot of these baits. So this is going to be a little difficult for me because I don't consider myself an advanced fisherman or an advanced angler. I'm still learning a lot of these baits that I'm going to show you. Some of the baits I haven't even caught a fish on, but I know I need to learn how to use these baits. So to me, that's the important part is, acknowledging the fact that I need to learn these baits and keeping them with me for when I feel that the situation requires them. This is, the order of these baits is going to be really crazy and everywhere just because I've already covered them. So if you want to get a little bit more in depth of why I have them, you can watch my other videos. So the first bait that I believe you should have, and mainly because I believe it's the #1 fish catching bait ever created, and that will be a stick worm. Any kind of stick worm, it doesn't matter. I don't even remember. Oh, this color. I was about to say I don't even remember the color, but it's literally on the package. But this one's a watermelon with red flake, the Yamamoto's, or you can grab some Yum Dingers. There are so many stick baits out there. All of the baits that I'm going to cover, there's so many variations of these baits. So just grab one that you are comfortable with or that you like the way it looks and grab one of those, throw it in the tackle box, kit, bag, whatever. Some type of stick bait. It's always great. The next bait I would recommend you getting, to keep in your bag is any type of fluke right here. Your Zoom Super Flukes, Smoking Shad. This is my go-to color right here. This is my go-to fluke right here. I highly recommend this fluke. I kill it with these guys. I'm pretty sure a lot of you kill it with these guys. So make sure you have some type of fluke with you. There are other flukes, that are out there. Even this one right here. Just these guys are just nice. Flukes catch bass. They just do. The next bait that I would say you should have in your tackle kit is some type of creature bait. These are the Rage Crawls, or Rage Bug. Sorry, the Rage Crawls have more of an appendage, like more flap in their appendage. But just a creature bait. Creature baits, like these Guggen Squads. These are what the Rage Crawls kind of look like. A creature bait on a Texas rig catches fish. It just does. Don't understand why, it just does. I guess because it just looks like a crawl or a creature, you know, something that the bass are like, that looks good. So yeah, something like that. And the great thing about these is you can use them as trailers. A lot of the baits that I'm going, you know, that we use require a trailer, so why not grab some of these? So the next bait I'm going to say that you should keep in your bag is also some type of spinner bait. You know, this is the Megabass spinner bait. I just started using the Hog Farmers on it, and it seems to be working a little bit better than a paddle tail swim bait. I know this color doesn't really go with it, but hey, you know, it was just an example. But yes, you know, some type of spinner bait will do wonders in your bag. The next bait I would say in your advanced tackle bag would be some sort of frog, any type of frog. Just use it. Frog bites are amazing. Trying to go through this fast, like if you guys couldn't tell. Next bait I would recommend to put in is some type of popper. And I literally mean just some type of popper. You could be this popper, this Megabass popper that's $20, which I would highly recommend spending the $20 for this guy. It's amazing. Like I understand that not everybody can spend $20 on a bait, so you could literally just go to Walmart and buy a little popper like this. Like just any type of popper will do. The other bait that I've already went over in one of my videos is, you know, a chatterbait. Use any type of chatterbait you want. I believe just by using chatterbaits that they have different sounds based off of which one you're using. This is, you know, this is where I keep most of my chatterbaits. I keep it really simple with the colors, so I don't carry a bunch of chatterbaits, but I also do. Yeah, I probably carry more chatterbaits with me than any other bait out there. Trying to think. I'm looking at my notes, so I'm trying to look at which ones that I've covered already. Let's move on to another bait that I have mentioned in a video. I'm only mentioning this bait again because I kind of forgot some things to say about it, you know. And I would say a jig right here. Any type of jig, whichever jig you feel comfortable with, grab it, throw it in there. It'll do wonders. This one is the 6 Sense Divine Hybrid Jig. I had to think about it. I had to think about it. And the reason why I like the Divine Hybrid Jig is because I can swim this bait. Just toss it out and just swim it. Just reel it back in, you know, add a few twitches to it. You know, all you got to do is put some weird, you know, some type of paddle tail. And I would recommend, if you do put a paddle tail at the end of your trip, grab a swimmer, an X-Zone swimmer, because just this bait by itself, when you rig it, it has that head turn, like just that head shake. And even on a half-ounce jig like this one right here, it still has that head wobble. It's really cool. The next bait that I haven't used this bait just because I'm really worried that I'm gonna get it snagged, but hey, I know I need to learn this bait, and that is some type of Ned rig. It's the Strike King Ocho, Ned Ocho, right there. Got some hooks for it, you know, right there. Those are the hooks. So, you know, some type of Ned rig with, you know, any type of like creature trailer or whatever. Like they go so well onto here. Like it's really nice. Next bait that I want to say for an advanced tackle box kit or bag or whatever, this one's a little dirty, is some type of lipless crankbait. And this one was like $3. It's like a cotton something. It's those like really old school baits. And I even carry a mini lipless crankbait. This is a Jackal TN 60 or 50, one of those. But the TN and the Jackal TN 60 lipless crankbait literally means tungsten nose, and that's because it'll literally sit there in the water, like on the bottom like this, just and you can just hop it up. They, like, if you go to the Jackall YouTube, they YouTube page, they have a video about this bait, and just watching the action of it, I've killed it with them last winter on this guy. It was like they've never seen it before. You know, this is, as you can tell, the bluegill color. It's just an amazing one. I do want a bigger size just because sometimes, you know, you want to throw a bigger bait. Here we go, a top water bait. This one's a little iffy. So, you know, but I only say it's iffy because I'm not really good at throwing it. So I would say some type of wake bait. This is the Fish Labs wake bait. Like, it's really awesome. It's got a nice little knot to it and everything. What I like about this wake bait is that I can fish it with multiple different retrieves. It's the only one that I've come across where I can do that. Like, I can fish it fast and it stays upright and just knocks, goes side to side. It's really cool. I can fish it really slow if I want to, you know, and it's still going to have that slow little knot going. But what I like most about this wake bait is I can twitch it like a walking bait. And that's phenomenal. Like, if I can keep this in the strike zone a little bit longer just by giving it a few twitches and having it literally walk in the water, that's super cool to me. Another bait that I believe should be in your advanced tackle kit is some type of square bill crankbait or deep diving crankbait. Just a crankbait with a bill. This is the Strike King, of course. This is probably the most iconic Strike King crankbait out there. Like, so many people talk about this one, but I would just recommend bring a crankbait. What I've learned is that in clear water, getting a translucent crankbait, you know, like this Googan Squad, a mini banger. If it's clear water, the translucent crankbaits seem to do a lot better to me. That's just, you know, how I feel about it, you know. And then whenever the water's darker, get more of a solid color, and it should help increase your, you know, your bite ratio. Next bait that I'm going to go over is what did I do with it? Oh, there it is a jerk bait right here. Jerk baits, to me, jerk baits scare me just because I'm not that confident in them. This is the Megabass. It's a $25 jerk bait, and I've caught one fish on it. I've used it maybe 3 times and I've only caught one fish, but I also don't throw a jerk bait that often. If you don't have $20, $25 to blow on a bait, and I can completely understand, not everybody does. You could always go after this Rapala X-Rap right here. This is the all white. I really like the way this color is. It kind of shines a little bit, so, you know, that's why I grabbed it. Haven't used it yet, but I did take it out of the box to show you guys the bait. And even down to, you know, mini jerk baits, like these tiny ones. Like, this one doesn't dive as far as the other two, but I've had bites on this guy way more than way more than a $25 one, but I've also thrown this one a lot more. The next bait that I'm going to go over, and this one is probably the hardest bait for me to learn right now, and, you know, just because I don't fully understand how to use it, and that will be a glide bait. Any type of glide bait, you know, big baits, they're usually really expensive. This one was fairly cheap. This is the S-Waver 90, and never caught a fish on it. But I know that I need to learn this bait and master it just so that I can, you know, produce more bites, more fish, you know, however you want to say it. You know, I just know that I need to practice more with this bait. but I would recommend keeping it in your bag. The next bait that I want to go over is, well, that I would put in my bag is some type of swim bait. This is of course the Mag Draft. It's a really awesome bait. I've caught so many fish on a Mag Draft. I actually caught actually one day when I went out with a Mag Draft, it was the only bait I went out there with was a Mag Draft. I was like, I'm going to catch a fish on the Mag Draft, and I caught a 19-pound bag in 30 minutes on this guy. Like, out of 5 fish, it was 19. The whole bag was out of 5 fish, it was 19 pounds. It was amazing. Probably one of my favorite days of fishing was on a Mag Draft. And it doesn't even have to be a Mag Draft. You can go smaller to like these Saucy Swimmers, you know, by Googan Squad. You can even throw, you know, a little swimmer right here. This is a 3-inch swimmer just because I like the 3 inches. You can even grab a Strike King, you know, some type of swim bait right here. They're awesome by themselves, you know, and they're awesome as trailers. This is a Kitech. This is a bluegill. I think ghost bluegill, something like that. Some type of swim bait. And then our last bait that I would say should be in your advanced tackle bag is a swim jig right here. Now, you don't have to get a swim jig. You can always go grab the hybrid jig right here by 6 cents and just put a little paddle tail on the back of it, you know, but a swim jig. I think it's an awesome bait. This was the first jig, not this one specifically, but style of jig that I picked up and started fishing, because it's just a straight retrieve, throw out, retrieve it, maybe give it a few pops if you're feeling up to it. You don't have to. But when you do give it a few twitches, you increase your bite chance. Like, because a fish in the water doesn't just swim when something's chasing it. It'll dart off a little bit. So if you add that little bit of action by just throwing that little twitch in there, you'll increase your bite chances. Yeah, that's what I've got, really. Let me know if I missed something, that there's a bait out there that you guys think should just be in there. And if I haven't tried it, I will do my best to get a hold of one and give it a shot to see if I will replace anything in my tackle bag. You know, this is, you know, I'm pretty sure you guys saw in the thumbnail that this is my tackle bag that I carry around with me. I got it off of Amazon. It was pretty cheap, and the only reason why I carry a bag and why I use these baits is because I don't want to carry a lot with me. You know, like usually I'm in the kayak, and I don't want to overload the kayak with just baits, because I feel that the more baits you have, the more you're going to psych yourself out, go like switching between baits. So I tried to keep my baits very minimal. But that's the bait, you guys. That's the video. If you like this video, press that like button. If you could, watch another video, and I will see you guys next time.